this chapter of Kaiju number 8, Kikoru and Mina cleared the way for Kafka to avenge his ancestors and finally kill the 400-year-old Daikaiju. Previously, Kikoru joined the battlefield after studying the Mega Monster through Captain Narumi's eyes. As it turns out, Kikoru is the first person in history to be compatible with 4 different numbered weapons. She has Class 5 compatibility with number 4 and Class 4 compatibility with numbers 1, 2, and 7. Knowing that her father was still inside the monster made this fight extra personal. But also knowing that she's not in this alone, Kikoru told Kafka not to hold back and to make sure he hits the core. He had the same thing in mind. It was time to set their former chief free. They launched off at the same time. The monster tried to rune strike Kafka, but Kikoru interrupted with several shots aimed at its attack points. She maintained distance to find its core, but nowhere on the battlefield was safe. Mina was on the move too. When Kaiju number 9 killed her father, Kikoru was helpless and a hindrance. This time, she was overflowing with the strength and resolve to set him free. She fired again, and Kafka was able to land a hit right after. He seized every opening, while Kikoru used the clairvoyance of her eyes to keep the beast from hitting back. Kafka's attacks were dealing noticeable damage. Their strategy was working well, but Kikoru was already showing signs of fatigue. She's still not on her master's level with number 1's eyes, and using 2 numbered weapons at once is unprecedentedly strenuous. To expose the monster's core, she would hit it with her railgun. Kikoru desperately searched for the core, but there were hundreds of diversions. While looking, her release force dropped down by 17% in a matter of seconds. But she didn't stop searching. Driven by memories of her parents, Kikoru finally found the core that was controlling all the others and shared its location. But by then, her output levels were low enough for the monster to hit her. And that only brought her down another 15%. But even so, Kikoru refused to be a damsel in distress. She would not be saved. She would finish the mission and surpass everyone in the defense force. Declaring her strength, she gave Kafka another opening. He went in for a mean punch. It sent the ancient kaiju several paces back. Konomi shouted that the creature was in position. Now Kafka could only rely on Mina to do her part. Now wielding Keranos, the greatest marksman had her target. And despite clear signs of physical overload like everyone else, Mina was determined to win. Soon enough, the weapon was prepared and ready to go. Mina didn't waste a breath and fired immediately. The giant buster railgun discharged a round. As it raced towards the fiend, Konomi gritted her teeth and begged it to hit. But the nightmare continued as the kaiju prepared a beam attack of its own. Unexpected and terrifying, the laser was shot from its largest eye in a flash. The beams clashed ever so close to the monster. This Kaiju God successfully retaliated with such a powerful discharge and managed to do so in the time it took Mina's inciting shot to travel. Beam attacks are to be expected since he used a flurry of them against Kafka just moments before these events. But with Kikoru having stopped so many of them, the defense force had no idea what they were truly capable of. So Soshiro, Narumi, and Hasegawa could not believe their eyes. Kuzo and Akira were in disbelief too. This Daikaiju was beyond understanding. Mina locked on to follow up with a rapid-fire barrage. The Meireki-era kaiju withstood each shot like the passage of time. Instead, Keranos was the one showing fatigue as several circuits shorted out. While the Daikaiju shot back, the barrel of Mina's weapon began to rapidly overheat. Even so, the beams continued to collide. Konomi frantically told her captain that the railgun was on the verge of a total meltdown. At this rate, the kaiju's beam would annihilate her position. Mina wouldn't last much longer, so she needed to retreat. But it's a good thing Kikoru was ready to split the heavens above the monster's head. Mina was shocked by the sight. The young inheritor begged Kaiju number 4 to back her up. Although she was already way beyond her limit, Kikoru just wanted to land one more hit. At this point, she was releasing 51.8% of the suit's combat potential. But she needed more. Glaring with eyes empowered by Kaiju number 1, Kikoru demanded that Kaiju number 4 lend her its strength. That's when Akira witnessed her power spike from 51.8% to a whopping 93%. Not only is that one of the greatest sudden spikes we've ever seen, but it is also the return of Kikoru's current peak. At 93%, she is on the same level as her late mother, whose spirit seemed to support her even now. Kikoru's focused gaze was unwavering. She reminded herself that by being a member of the defense force, she is a spear for the country and a shield for its people. But this final strike of hers was in honor of someone else. With number 1's power, she peered into the Daikaiju's body and found what remained of her father's essence. He turned and noticed her beaming smile as she bounded towards him. He caught her, and now he could share her smile. She cleaved down in honor of her father. Upon contact, the beams inside the monster's head began to distort and escape unfavorably. Kikoru got out of dodge as quickly as she could. Now Mina had a solid shot. The monster wouldn't be able to shoot back. So Mina did what Mina does best, and she shot the big ugly monster. As tears mixed with blood, the defense force's most powerful soldier screamed to Kafka, their secret weapon, that it was all up to him now. The monster's core was exposed and encased in a compressed shield of force, just like Kafka mentioned before. And right now, he looked like Gon Freaks from Hunter x Hunter as he prepared to strike. He assured them all that he would take it from here. The narrative text mentions everything riding on this one final blow. But that core looks pretty tough, so we'll see if Kafka can manage it. And even if this is the main core, what if it can send relays to make any of the other hundreds of them into the new Prime? That would certainly be a level up from number 9's antics. And while the threat of Kaiju number 9 in particular has been terminated, there is still just so much we don't know about this ancient kaiju and its origins that it's certain to escape in some capacity. By assimilating Kaiju number 9, we know that this thing is much stronger than it was 400 years ago. What that says to me is that this thing still has the potential to grow stronger, and it most certainly will. I mean, clearly there seems to be a lot more story left to tell. And this Daikaiju also seems to be a massive troll. The only time it hasn't been mute and emotionless was when it expressed laughter and pleasure upon recognizing what Kaiju number 8 is. Out of the hundreds of monsters within the hive mind, only a few have what look to be pleased faces. Which is to say that only the brutal annihilation of humanity and the enjoyment of Kaiju number 8's existence are enough to make the collective act as one. Oh, and we still don't know how the other battlefields are faring against the newly risen zombie kaiju. There is a lot to look forward to with Kaiju number 8, so hopefully you guys will stick around and look forward to more videos on it from us. As always, I'm Slice of Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.